Your backup quarterback stocked shelves at a grocery store for minimum wage 5 years ago and has 0 NFL passes to his name. Now your franchise quarterback just tore his ACL in preseason, and your coach is betting the entire season on this guy. Pressure is massive. What happens next sounds impossible. You'd think you know the Kurt Warner story. Grocery store kid gets his shot, wins a Super Bowl, rides off into the sunset. Hollywood made the movie. ESPN plays the highlights every year. You don't know the full crazy story. The quarterback who won Super Bowl MVP in January 2000 will get benched 3 separate times after this moment. 3 different coaches, 3 different teams. You will watch him fumble 6 times in a single game on national television. And then there was the honeymoon bug bite that almost ended his NFL career. It all started in 1994 when Kurt Warner just got cut by the Green Bay Packers after going undrafted. He's 23 years old with a college degree and 0 prospects in the NFL. So he takes the overnight shift at Hy-Vee for $5.50 an hour in Iowa. It is 2 a.m. Warner is stacking Cheerios, wondering if his football career is over. But he gives his manager 2 weeks' notice. He tries out for the Iowa Barnstormers of the Arena Football League, indoor football with hockey boards and a 50-yard field. In 3 seasons, Warner throws for over 10,000 yards and 183 touchdowns. The Barnstormers make back-to-back championship games. NFL scouts start paying attention. Then the Chicago Bears call with a tryout offer. Warner says yes, but asks to push it back 1 week. He's getting married to Brenda Mione, a former Marine and single mother of 2. The Bears agree. Kurt and Brenda go on their honeymoon, somewhere tropical. Then a bug bites Warner on his throwing elbow. Reports say spider, others say insect. Either way, his elbow swells up like a grapefruit. Warner cannot grip a football. He cannot throw. By the time the swelling goes down weeks later, Warner calls the Bears. They never call back. 1 bug bite almost cost him his NFL career. If you're a Bears fan, your team could have had Kurt Warner instead of waiting decades for a real quarterback. The St. Louis Rams signed him in late 1997. Then they ship him to NFL Europe. Yes, NFL Europe. Warner spends 1998 leading the league in passing yards and touchdowns. By the time Warner gets back to St. Louis for the 1999 season, he's been playing professional football nonstop for 4 years. He is ready. The league does not know it yet. But first, Warner has to survive training camp. Offensive coordinator Mike Martz admits later he was brutal with Warner, more brutal than any other player he ever coached. During a preseason drill, the center fumbles the snap before it even reaches Warner. This tears into Warner for 20 to 30 seconds, screaming. Warner never touched the ball. It was a test. Martz wanted to see if Warner would crack. Warner calls Brenda from camp. He tells her he does not think he's making the team, that all he hears in practice is how awful he is. He makes the team. August 28th, 1999, preseason game. The Rams just gave Trent Green a 4-year, $17.5 million contract. He is supposed to be the franchise. Then Green plants his left leg wrong. His knee buckles. The replay is brutal. Green is done for the year. Coach Dick Vermelli walks into the press conference looking destroyed. Then he says the Rams will rally around Kurt Warner. If you're a Rams fan watching this, you probably sell your season ticket. Warner has thrown 11 passes in his entire NFL career. Vegas drops the Rams Super Bowl odds immediately. September 12th, 1999. Warner's first NFL start. He throws for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns. 4 games into the season, Warner has 14 touchdowns. Defensive coordinators are watching film wondering who this guy is. The Rams finish 13-3. The offense gets nicknamed the greatest show on turf. Marshall Faulk is running through defenses. Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt are catching everything. If you watched football in 1999, you remember this team. January 30th, 2000, Super Bowl 34. Rams against the Titans in Atlanta. The game comes down to the final play. 6 seconds left. Titans trailing by 7 from the 10-yard line. Steve McNair fires to Kevin Dyson, who catches it at the 5. Rams linebacker Mike Jones wraps him up as Dyson stretches the ball toward the goal line. 1 yard short. Game over. Warner finishes with 414 yards and 2 touchdowns. He not only wins Super Bowl MVP, he wins the regular season MVP. The Rams give him a 7-year deal worth over $46 million. You think the story ends here? It does not. The worst part is still coming. 2002 season. Warner breaks his hand. He keeps playing, but fans whisper he's done. Then his wife, Brenda, calls into a St. Louis radio show. Live, on air, she tells the host that she forced Kurt to get an x-ray because the Rams medical staff was not taking it seriously. Coach Mike Martz hears about it. He starts making comments to the media about Warner's toughness. The tension between quarterback and coach is obvious. In 2003's opener, Rams play the Giants at the Meadowlands. Warner is the starter, but the pressure is massive. First quarter, Warner gets hit hard. He looks dazed. He fumbles. Second quarter, another fumble. By halftime, he's fumbled 4 times. Warner is clearly not right. The Giants are destroying him on every snap. Third quarter, 2 more fumbles. 6 fumbles in 1 game. Warner is concussed the entire game. Martz keeps him in anyway. The highlights are brutal. Warner fumbles again and again. He throws an interception. He gets sacked 6 times. Martz later admits Warner did not seem to understand the plays they were calling from the sideline. Warner gets hospitalized overnight with a concussion. Martz pulls him. Warner never plays another down for the Rams. Some believe Martz kept the concussed quarterback in the game on purpose to justify benching him for Mark Bulger. Then it gets worse. Martz starts a campaign. He works with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch writer to trash Warner publicly. They describe his throwing hand as a crippled claw. They say he's washed up. Denver Broncos coach Mike Shanahan wants to sign Warner. He says so publicly. The Broncos would take him immediately. Martz refuses to release Warner until June 1st, 2004, after the draft. After every starting job is filled, Martz ruins Warner's chance to start anywhere else. Mark Bulger takes over. The Rams release Warner after the season. 2 years ago, this man won Super Bowl MVP. Now he is unemployed. In 2004, the Giants sign Warner. He starts the season and the team goes 5-2. Then they lose 2 straight. Coach Tom Coughlin benches Warner for rookie Eli Manning, the number 1 pick. The team has a winning record and Coughlin benches the veteran anyway. If you were a Giants fan in 2004, you remember the controversy. Warner handles it with class publicly. Years later, he admits watching a first-round pick take his job was one of the hardest moments of his career. Benching number 2. Warner finds a job the very next year in Arizona, the worst team in football. They have not won a playoff game since '47. In 2006, Warner fumbles constantly. Home fans boo him so loud you can hear it through the TV. Coach Dennis Green benches him after a blowout loss and hands the job to rookie Matt Leinart. Warner is running scout team at 35, a former Super Bowl MVP running practice plays for a rookie. He seriously considers retiring. Benching number 3. Most people would quit, walk away, enjoy the millions. Warner does not, and the reason goes deeper than football. Warner is a strong Christian. He talks about God in every interview. Some networks hate it. Warner tells reporters that producers edit out his God references during taped segments. So he starts bringing a Bible onto live broadcasts. He mentions Jesus when they cannot cut it. If you've seen Warner holding a Bible on ESPN, that is why. His faith comes from tragedy. 1996. Brenda's parents die in an Arkansas tornado. When Kurt met Brenda at northern Iowa, she had 2 kids. Her son Zachary was accidentally dropped as an infant, leaving him blind with severe brain damage. Most guys would run. Warner saw Zachary as a blessing. They marry in 1997. Warner adopts both kids. They have 7 children total. Zachary will inspire the biggest thing Warner ever builds. Right now, in 2006, Warner is wondering if his career ends on the scout team. Then everything changes. Again. 2007 rolls around and Arizona hires Ken Wisenhunt. He uses a quarterback rotation between Warner and Leinart. Fans are furious. Pick a guy. Week 4, Cardinals versus Ravens. Warner outplays Leinart. Week 5, Leinart breaks his collarbone. Warner gets the job by default. Warner finishes with 27 touchdowns and 3,417 yards. He does this with torn ligaments in his throwing elbow. He is 36, held together with tape and painkillers, still dropping perfect passes. 2008 season. The Cardinals are a mess. The defense gives up 426 points. The running game finishes dead last in the entire NFL with only 1,178 yards. Warner carries them anyway. He throws for 4,583 yards and 30 touchdowns at age 37. Warner leads Arizona to the playoffs for the first time since 1998. They beat Atlanta. They beat Carolina. They beat Philadelphia in the NFC Championship. Arizona is going to the Super Bowl. February 1st, 2009, Super Bowl 43. Cardinals against the Steelers in Tampa. Fourth quarter, Cardinals trail. Warner drops back and fires a 64-yard pass to Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald takes it to the house. Cardinals lead 23-20 with under 3 minutes left. Then Ben Roethlisberger leads a game-winning drive. Touchdown to Santonio Holmes with 35 seconds left. Steelers win 27-23. Warner finishes with 377 yards and 3 touchdowns in a loss. Fitzgerald later says Warner taught him what professionalism looks like. One more game. January 2010, playoffs. Cardinals versus the Saints in New Orleans. What you did not know is that Saints linebacker Jonathan Vilma put a $10,000 bounty on Warner's head. The Saints had a system. $1,000 for a card off, $1,500 for a knockout. In the playoffs, they paid more. Warner was worth $10,000. During the game, Saints defensive end Bobby McRae hits Warner with a brutal blindside block. Warner goes down. He stays down. Medical staff runs out. Warner eventually walks off but misses significant time. He comes back in the second half. The Cardinals lose 45-14. 13 days later, Warner retired. The bounty scandal does not come out until 2012. When reporters ask Warner about it, he defends the hit as legal. He refuses to blame the Saints for ending his career. The NFL suspends Saints coach Sean Payton for an entire season. They ban defensive coordinator Greg Williams. The team loses draft picks and gets fined $500,000. Was that punishment enough? They ended a Hall of Fame career. Warner was 38 years old with a $10,000 target on his head in his final game. Warner retires after 2009. He finishes with 32,344 yards and 208 touchdowns. He gets into the Hall of Fame in 2017. The real legacy is not the stat. Warner and Brenda have 7 children. Zachary is an adult now. He is blind with brain damage. Finding places for adults like Zachary to live independently is nearly impossible, so the Warners built one. Treasure House in Glendale, Arizona, a place for young adults with disabilities. They poured millions of their own money into it. Job training, life skills, independence. Their foundation has collected over 300,000 coats. Furnished homes for 62 families. Taken 179 sick kids to Disney World. When the 2008 flood hit Cedar Rapids, Warner raised over $650,000. Most retired players do one charity golf tournament a year. Warner built a second career helping people like his son. Undrafted, cut, arena football, bug bite. Benched 3 times after winning MVP. Warner turned minimum wage into a gold jacket by refusing to quit. That is Kurt Warner, not the movie version.